Hello and welcome to Random Things. This is Ty, and for this video I want to give a quick tutorial on how to adjust the Shimano tourney derailleur that's on the Lectric E-Bikes. Now here you have the Lectric X Premium and it uses the tourney derailleur. The 3.0 and the 2.0 also uses the tourney derailleur. In addition, a lot of bikes use this derailleur because it's actually a pretty affordable derailleur for the manufacturers to slap on a bike that's looking at a 7-gear freewheel. And so what can happen over time is that the derailleur does not want to shift properly, or when you first get it from the factory, the adjustment was out of tune and the derailleur doesn't shift. If you're not familiar with what that looks like, here's a quick video on what that looks like when the derailleur is trying to shift. So as you can see, the derailleur is trying to pop up to the next gear, but the cable tension is not correct, and so that it needs to be adjusted so that it can actually pop up to the next gear. Thankfully, this is actually a very easy process. Now you also may want to do the derailleur adjustment, let's say if you were changing out the chain or changing out the freewheel. And so there's multiple reasons why you want to do a derailleur adjustment. Again, it's very simple. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. When you are adjusting the derailleur, the first thing you need to do is take the barrel adjuster and loosen it all the way, meaning that you want to go clockwise. Some people will actually take the cable off the screw here just so that the cable tension does not play a role. But I think it's fine if you just take the barrel adjuster, turn it all the way to the right so that it's completely loose. Then you want to use your Phillips screwdriver, and you have to identify the high limit screw and the low limit screw. And what this does is it prevents the chain from either falling off on the high limit screw or going over on the low limit screw. It's called the low limit screw because it's for the low gear. High limit screw, I guess, is for the high gear. That's my guess is why it's called high and low limit screw. So if I turn the H limit screw, you should see that the jockey wheel will start moving one way or the other. So I'm going to turn it clockwise. And what that does is that this screw will push against the tab on the inside. And by pushing on that tab, it's going to push that whole derailleur assembly, the jockey wheel, this way if I go clockwise. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and you can see it moving towards the 7th gear. And the idea is you want to line up that jockey wheel so that it's just underneath the 7th gear. So you can see if I move the jockey, that H limit screw, you can see how it's moving. And I want to get just under that 7th gear. So now I have the H limit screw pretty far in there clockwise, right? And that's pushing that jockey wheel that way. And so if I spin the wheel, it's not gonna let it fall off that last gear, the high gear, 7th gear. So this seems like a decent set point for the H limit screw. If I go any further with the H screw, you're going to see that it's going to try to jump it to the 6th gear, the next gear up. Or you start hearing excessive noise because it's trying to change gears on you. You can hear that clicking sound? That means it's trying to jump up. That excessive noise, what you're hearing is it's trying to jump up to the next gear, to the 6th gear. So you want to back off on that screw, on the H limit screw. And so you don't hear that excessive noise. I still hear it a little bit, so I'm going to back up a little more. There. So that now my H limit screw is now set. So now I'm going to shift through the gears. Okay, and this is called indexing. So this is where you use the barrel adjuster and tighten the cable so that when you tighten it meaning that you want to go counterclockwise, right? So as you go counterclockwise, it's going to turn it this way. If you go clockwise, it's going to turn it this way. And so when you do the fine adjustments, it will let you jump one gear. So this is what you want to do. You want to fine tune it so it's only changing one gear per click. It's actually not letting me go up to the first gear or the biggest gear. So that means I need to change my L limit screw so that it lets me. So now it's too loose. I go one click and it's not changing gears on me. So I need to tighten the cable using the barrel adjuster. So when I do one click, you can see it pulled the chain over, but it's not quite enough. It's clicking. So I need to take the barrel adjuster and go counterclockwise. I'm going to go quarter turn. Almost there. I'll do another quarter turn. There he goes. So the L limit screw will prevent you from shifting the chain past the first gear, the biggest cog, the lowest gear, and into this gap. So I am going to loosen that a little bit so that it's going to let me shift up there and see if that helps with that excessive chain noise and keeps that chain up there. So you can see that the screw itself is bottoming out against that frame. So we'll loosen that screw half a turn to let us finish pushing it up. Another quarter turn. There you have it. Now you have a derailleur that's adjusted. So as you can see, it's a pretty simple process to adjust the derailleur. You use the H screw, which is a screw to the right if you're looking at the derailleur, to set the jockey wheel so that it's directly underneath the 7th gear. And then you adjust the barrel adjuster, or this little knob here, and you turn it counterclockwise to tighten the cable to allow you to, when you click, it jumps one gear at a time. So it's called indexing. And then as you click all the way to the first gear or the biggest gear, you want to make sure the L screw, which is the screw to the left, you want to set that up so that you don't push to the first gear and then keep pushing and then push it over the edge into the gap. And that's what the L screw does. So it is just an iterative process of quarter turn on the barrel adjuster. You don't want to do too many because you might overdo it, right? So take your time, do a quarter turn, change the gears, watch it jump smoothly. So with that, I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please hit the like and share button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. That really helped me out. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next random video.